Hello my friends.
Welcome to the Trade District of Stormwind.
Today we will share an updated version of our list of the best legendary cards to craft.
This list was created by our algorithm.
We will also discuss the negative impact of the new expansion on the lifespan of certain legendary cards.
This is how our algorithm works. The algorithm first analyzes the mechanics of the card, and how the effect is activated, then finds legendary cards with similar characteristics in our database, and determines the potential lifespan of the mechanic.
You can learn more about this stage in our previous video analyzing the legendary mechanics of the United in Stormwind set. During the second stage, the algorithm analyzes many factors from standard and wild modes, things such as deck win rate, card played win rate, popularity, flexibility, and even usefulness in duels mode. Finally, the algorithm determines the crafting factor. The higher this value, the more potential long-term benefit you will get from crafting the card. Our algorithm is still at the alpha stage of testing, but we believe that one day our algorithm will become the most objective way to determine the best cards.
Over the past 2 weeks, we have significantly improved the way we measure the potential lifespan of mechanic, and also slightly reduced the impact of this indicator on the final result.
Thus, in this version the 100% crafting factor consists of 30 points for the lifespan of the card's mechanics, 30 points for the versatility of the card in different archetypes, and 40 points for total popularity and win rates in different modes. Let's start with a quick overview of the Forged in the Barrens cards. In general, the list of the best cards for crafting is not much different from the list published 4 months ago. The best card in the set is still Mankrik. The Cariel Rome crafting factor has increased by 29%. In the days of Forged in the Barrens it was just a good card, now it is an indispensable card for Paladin. At the same time, Kazakus has moved from the key card category to the mediocre category for the current metagame. His crafting factor has reduced by 30%.
Mutanus is the best card in the Wailing Caverns, with a crafting factor of 70%. The card is especially popular in wild mode.
A few words about unpleasant surprises. 4 cards that we believed would remain relevant for a long time proved to be useless in the current meta.
The disappearance of the Murloc archetype resulted in a significant reduction in the crafting factor for Firemancer Flurgle, although the card is still useful for wild mode. The decline in popularity of Kargil Battlescar was a foregone conclusion after the Watch Post-Nerf, but we didn't expect this card to virtually disappear from the metagame. The disappearance of Mordresh Fire Eye and Varden Dawn Grasp stunned us the most, since according to our algorithm, similar mechanics have a sufficiently long lifespan, so Ping Mage had a chance to remain at least a tier 4 deck for several expansions.
In our opinion, the dominance of quest archetypes has led to a significant decrease in diversity in the meta. During the same period last year, we had 10 more archetypes. In other words, each class on average had 1 more archetype to play with. Just imagine, all current Warlock archetypes are quest-based.
This has even led to the disappearance of Tickatus from the meta. The card had a lifespan of only 8 months, which is hard to believe. In addition to eliminating old strategies, the dominance of quests led to a decrease in experimentation with new cards, as well as a significant reduction in control archetypes.
Now let's move on to discussing the new legendary cards. Before we move on to the list of the 15 best cards for crafting, I suggest that you familiarize yourself with the 10 cards that have the lowest crafting factor.
Final Showdown, Flightmaster Dungar, Lothar and Lady Prester are useful cards, but at the same time they are only used in ineffective archetypes. Balner has a special place on this list. Despite the fact that the card has left the main meta decks, it shows a high win rate in experimental decks in both formats. Balner has the potential to be among the best cards in the future.
Anetherin has found a place in popular versions of Quest Warlock, making it one of the top 15 cards in the expansion. 65% of games in which this card was played ended in victory.
The Paladin's questline is in 14th place. The crafting factor of this card is 50%. Quest Paladin is currently only a tier 3 deck, which is the main drawback of this card.
Next on the list is another questline, this time from Priest. Despite its high potential lifespan, the card shows an extremely low win rate in Standard. This strategy is more effective in Wild mode.
Unexpectedly for us, the algorithm placed the Rogue questline in 12th place. Despite the fact that the Quest Rogue remains the main archetype of the class, its effectiveness has gradually decreased since the balance changes. Another drawback is the low efficiency of the strategy in wild mode.
Next on the list is High Lord Fordragon. This is a key card for handbuff Paladin, which is one of the best decks in the current standard metagame. The only significant drawback of this card is the potentially short lifespan of the handbuff mechanic.
We had no doubts that Jace Darkweaver would see play. Mechanics that repeat effects played throughout the game are typically used over several expansions. Another advantage of Jace Darkweaver is its flexibility, which allows the card to be used across multiple Demon Hunter archetypes. The popularity of the card is gradually increasing in standard format.
The crafting factor of Dark Bishop Benedictus is 66%. Cards that improve your hero power have always attracted the interest of players and are quite effective. Aggro Shadow Priest is the only effective priest archetype. The card is slowly gaining popularity in both formats. The only drawback of the card is its low played win rate and complete uselessness in duels mode.
The Hunter questline is more suited to wild format than standard. In standard it's only a tier 3 mechanic with a moderate level of efficiency, while the quest Hunter win rate in wild mode is almost 65%, which is one of the best win rates in the format.
The usefulness level of Cornelius Rome has been steadily declining. More and more standard archetypes are gradually abandoning him, although he is still used in some archetypes with good efficiency. The disadvantage of the card is its low efficiency and popularity in wild.
Next in line is Lost in the Park. I am glad that the algorithm turned out to be smarter than us. We didn't believe this mechanic could be so useful. Among the disadvantages of this quest are the rapid decrease in efficiency and its low flexibility. Unlike other classes, Druid has many varied strategies and some of them are more effective than this.
Quest Mage is not only the best mage archetype, but also the most popular strategy in standard mode, and one of the most popular in wild format. With little variety among the mage's strategies, Sorcerer's Gambit may remain relevant for several expansions.
In fourth place is Shaman's Questline. Command the Elements is a very popular and effective card in both modes and can be used to create starter decks for duels. The only drawback is the lack of flexibility, as you can only use this card for one strategy.
The crafting factor of Varian, King of Stormwind, is a good example of how things are in standard mode. The improved version of Siamat is used in only 2 Paladin archetypes. For the best control tool in standard mode that's available to all classes, this is a very poor result. Unfortunately, the crafting factor of Varian directly depends on the popularity and effectiveness of Paladin.
Pirate Warrior is one of the best strategies in wild mode. The effectiveness of this archetype in standard mode isn't as impressive, but it is the best deck among other warrior strategies.
In first place is the most popular legendary card in standard and wild. Despite nerfs to key cards, the Demon Seed continues to terrorize players. This questline disarms control and combo archetypes, leading to the total dominance of aggro decks. As we said, all warlock archetypes are based on the quest. The only place you can hide from this strategy is duels mode. The new balance changes, which took effect a few days ago, have tried to weaken this strategy, but there have been no significant changes so far.
Now it's time to share our impressions of the new expansion.
The new questlines are having too much of an impact on the meta. They led to an almost complete lack of control and combo archetypes, reduced the variety of strategies for most classes, forced the metagame to become aggressive, and turned the wild format upside down.
Undoubtedly, United in Stormwind has brought uncontrollable chaos to Hearthstone. However, I am actually pretty satisfied with this change rather than disappointed. We wanted a set that would bring a lot of new things. Yes, this is not exactly what we dreamed of, but at least the new expansion can hardly be called mediocre.
It's been a month since its release, but I still haven't lost interest in the metagame, although I really miss good control decks. I have already resigned myself to the fact that new balance changes won't be able to significantly correct the situation, and I'm even ready to forgive the developers for this failure. But I have one serious concern. It scares me very much that the dominance of United in Stormwind may last for several expansions. This will be the worst outcome possible.
We can't wait to hear your impressions. How would you like to see the next expansion? A well-balanced but boring set that will have little impact on the meta, or the complete opposite, a poorly balanced but fun set that will turn the meta upside down again?
Please take part in the survey on our community tab, and share your opinion in the comments.
We will be extremely grateful to you for liking and subscribing to the channel as well as for turning on all notifications using the bell icon. You can also join our squad of loyal patrons and help us create new videos.
Dear friends, from all of my robotic heart, thank you so much for any kind of support.
Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for being with us.
And special thanks to Chris for his invaluable help.
We will definitely meet in a new video. Good luck.
What?